السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. نحمده ونصلي ونسلم على رسوله الكريم. أما بعد, and welcome to our third video, wherein we're looking at this really beautiful book here titled al-Suwar, and it's written by Fayiz ibn Sayyaf al-Sareeh, and it is a very popular book. As you can see, it's al-Aktharu Mabi'an. It's on the 6th edition. It's been sold many times. Many people have an interest in this book, and it's been printed by Darul Hadara. Now let's look at what this book actually is all about. It's a really beneficial book, seeing as Ramadan is not too far away. This book actually takes you on the journey of the Quran, literally a journey throughout every surah of the Quran. So let's actually start off right at the start with Surah Fatiha. So what does he do? You can see lovely pictures full of color, vibrant. So Surah Al-Fatiha, first he gives you the names of the surah, and then he gives you the reasoning as to why it's called that. So as we know, Surah Fatiha has a number of different names. He gives you the reason as to why it is called, for example, Al-Fatiha لِإِفْتِتَاحِ الْكِتَابِ بِهَا. Then after that he moves on to Bayna Yaday Surah, wherein he speaks a little bit about numbers, statistics, you could say. عدد آياتها, how many ayats does it have? When was it revealed? Where was it revealed? What position is it in terms of revelation? And where is it found in the Quran? After that, he moves on to the actual topics of the surah. So mawdu'at as-surah. So he speaks about the topics that are found within the surah. And verse by verse he goes through each one. Then he speaks about the main purpose of the surah. So the maqsid of the surah. Then aghrad surah. Then other purposes that are found within the surah itself. So he says تعتبر سورة الفاتحة أعظم سورة في القرآن. After that he goes into munasabat surah, in which he discusses how the start of the surah is connected to the end of it. And in other chapters what he does is he connects each surah with the surah that came before it. Then he speaks about the unique qualities of this surah. أنها أعظم سورة في القرآن أنها ركن من أركان الصلاة. Then he goes through the entire surah and he picks out all the difficult, or not the difficult, but rather the more ambiguous words in the surah, and he explains their meanings and interpretations. Finally, then he goes through each verse and, quoting from the tafasir of the scholars of the past, he gives you a little bit of an explanation. For example, from Ibn Ashur's At-Tahrir. Then you got here Alama Alusi's Tafsir Ruh al-Ma'ani, and like that Ibn al-Qayyim, Ibn Taymiyyah, and he does this for every single surah. So that brings us to the end of Surah Fatiha. He then does this for Surah Baqarah, and obviously because Surah Baqarah is the second chapter, it's actually, when it comes to munasabat surah, he discusses what's the connection of this surah with the surah that came before it, and what is the connection between the start of the surah with the end of the surah. And like that he does this for every single chapter, and it is a really fantastic kitab. Obviously the number of pages in this kitab is, considering the size of the book, it is a large book. It is approximately 558 pages. A few improvements perhaps that we would have liked to have seen in this book was that at times he does quote scholars, but as you can see he doesn't actually give references to the books of where we can find them. That would have been really beneficial. Another aspect that I thought needed a little bit of improvement in this book, as you can see, the paper quality is fantastic. It's actually that silky type of paper. It's white, but it's really nice. But that does sometimes make writing of notes a little bit difficult. Not to say that you may even write notes in this book, seeing as the book is not one of those. It's a more like a design type of book. And probably the last point that I would make that would be a point of improvement is that if you do see anyone coming at you with this book, it could be a cause of excitement, because maybe they're coming to give you a gift, or alternatively it may be something you need to be afraid of, because they may be coming to attack you, because this book is so big. It's big enough to be a weapon, and it's heavy enough to be a weapon. So it's really a big book. It's a book that is a bit heavy to hold as well, and that kind of reflects on the price. So perhaps if the author had made a slightly smaller version of the book, it would have been fantastic, not only in terms of holding it, positioning it in the library, but also in terms of finances. It would have been a bit cheaper. The book is available on a number of websites that you can see in the description below. if you did like this video, inshallah, please do give it a like and share the video with others as well, so others can also benefit, especially with the month of Ramadan coming. You can really benefit from this book. If you're doing programs in the masjid, you can just have a quick brief read through this book, and it's easy enough to make a 10-minute bayan out of this, or lecture out of this book. And essentially you're teaching the ummah all of the key messages of the Quran using this one book here, which is fantastic. I mean, this should definitely be something that you would want to invest in, and anything to improve our understanding of the Holy Quran. So please do share it, and if you do like any of our other videos, please do have a look at some of the other ones as well, and please do subscribe, inshallah, so that we can spread the khair and spread the goodness, inshallah ta'ala. And please be sure to check some of our previous videos. Jazakumullah khairan. If you do purchase the book, please make dua for me as well. If I helped you, or if you were tempted to buy this book because of this video, please do make dua for me as well. Jazakumullah khairan. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.